Hi everybody, this is a quick review of your final e-portfolio, which will conclude all of your drafts and your revisions of the assignments for the semester. Everyone's table of contents will look pretty much the same. It will contain all of these documents, but it will also vary in terms of the pages, which I would recommend doing last. The first item to appear will be your reflection essay, and here you're going to talk about, in first person, your experience of starting this essay, working on it, and where you believe you ended up by the time you revised it for this portfolio. Things you learned, challenges you faced, weaknesses that you think you continue to work on. Then you will actually give the original draft showing the changes that you will make in the revision. Pay particular attention to things like integration. This time some of your quotations are better integrated than others. You shouldn't be opening a paragraph with another words or ending one because it allows someone else to dominate and potentially confuses your reader. After this, you're going to have your revision, and this will include the changes that you made to your original draft. You will do this for all 3 essays, which is why I assigned this at the beginning of the semester. And if you have any questions about my comments, now would be the time to ask. You'll see that the reflection is going to look very similar for your second essay, and the only additional assignment that you'll do once you've completed the essay and completed the portfolio is to do a final reflection on the class. And in this, you'll talk about generally your improvement, things that you think you're better at now, that you might not have really thought about before the class, but things in terms of making an argument that you think that you're better at, that you'll certainly be working on in future classes. Topics that you were interested in, maybe things that you'd like to explore in the future. And that's it. Once you've compiled all of that, you'll put the page numbers into your table of contents, and you will upload this to Dropbox. I'd like to suggest that you go back and do the ePortfolio question and answer conversation and take a look at some of the questions here. This person asks if your reflection should be a certain length. You're going to aim for about at least 4 to 6 sentences for your shorter reflections and about 2 paragraphs or double that for your final reflection. So when you go here, you'll see that many of the questions you may have already been answered. Yes, there is a rubric, and it's the same rubric as we've been using for the individual essays that emphasizes thesis and substance over grammar. For the portfolios, you will need to think about both, but if you just focus on grammar, your grade is unlikely to change significantly. My main interest is on your argument and how you're making it. Here's a question about MLA and some sources that you can go to that are reliable, that will help you with sources, questions that you have. You can also email me at any time. So I would recommend both this forum, but I would also suggest going to pretty much week 12 and forward, because each week I'm giving you suggestions for your portfolio. So for example, in week 15, there's a sample here, there's a video, and there are also some grammar tips. In week 14, I've got a revision checklist over the Thanksgiving holiday, things that you can be thinking about. Revising your essay, what are some things you can do to your thesis statement? And here are some examples of how to make them stronger for practice. There's also a revision checklist that you can use if you feel like you don't know what else you can do to your essays. You can go ahead and look at this checklist, which gives you some ideas. And again, these first 2 areas are going to be the most significant when revising. If you have any questions or just want to talk about specific parts of your portfolio, please feel free to email me. I recommend doing so now, because the ePortfolio or the eTutoring and the Writing Center, their appointments will fill up quickly in the coming week, so I would recommend doing it this week if you can. Thanks.